Start. Good morning, students. Welcome to our online class of forensic medicine and toxicology. Now we are starting toxicology. The Department of Forensic Medicine and Toxicology under GVP, prestigious GVP Medical College students. Welcome to online class. Okay, now today we will start the general consideration of toxicology. What is toxicology? I told you in forensic science laboratory the definitions of forensic toxicology, forensic pathology, all forensics are so many definitions I told you. Now today we will talk with general considerations of the forensic general toxicology. The toxicology term is derived from Greek word toxika, which means that the poison, in olden days the poisons are used to kill the cattle, so they dip into the arrowheads. So poison which dip into the arrowheads is called toxicon in Latin, in Greek word. So from Greek word the term toxicology was derived. What is the historical overview and epidemiology of the poisoning? So coming to discuss about the epidemiology of the poisoning, the more than 50,000 people die every year in our India. So worldwide there will be a 2 lakhs, more than 2 lakhs to 3 lakhs people die due to this poisoning. So many types of poisoning I will tell you in due course. So 1 million illnesses worldwide are due to these chemical substances which are injurious to human beings. So the incidence of poisoning is very high in third world countries like our India. So causes of poisoning. So poisoning and toxins and these types of poisoning or poisons are categorized by the type of source the poisonous substances derived and the manner of the toxicity and the symptoms. Based on these three, the poisons can be divided. So what are the causes of poisoning? Poisoning causes are civilian, mostly civilization. More civilization, more poisonous pollutants will be developed in our environment. And industrial poisoning, you all know the industries will accidental poisoning will occur, or workers employees who work in industries may involve in this poisoning, and also accidental poisoning is also there. So causes of poisoning are civilian, industrial, and accidental poisonings are very common, and deliberate poisoning. That means deliberate manner of death. That means suicidal or homicidal poisoning also there. So these are the causes of poisoning. The commonest agents of poisoning, or most commonly will use this is according to the source of availability of the poisoning. Pesticides in our agriculture India, so many pesticides are used nowadays to increase the result of crops. So availability of these pesticides is one of the causes of poisoning. Among those, for example, we can take as organophosphates are very commonly used poisonings among pesticides, and sedative drugs and chemicals. Sedative drugs, some sedative drugs which are very commonly used for therapeutic purpose, they can also produce harmful effect for the human beings. And also chemicals who are also harmful to the human beings. Alcohol, plant toxins, and animal toxins are also harmful. And household poisons. Among household poisons, you all know the cleaning agents, that toilet cleaners and bathroom cleaners are among household cleaners. These can also produce harmful effects. Kerosene, chemicals, pesticides, and also cause harmful effects. So what is this? These are the causes of poisoning. So history and historical overview. So what is the history? Several thousands of years back, the existence of poisoning is described in our Vedas or Shastras. So many civilizations, Egypt civilization, Greek, Babylonian, and Hebrews, several thousand years back, the existence of poisons is described in our history. First, in 3000 BC, the pharaohs in Egypt, the kings, the emperors of Egypt, they also studied about the many poisons. So the history of poisoning and poisoning dates go through several thousand years back. These poisons used mainly for hunting the animals. These hunting animals to hunt the animals because of providing their food. So these poisons are mainly used for hunting. Some poisons used for ordeal poisons. That means ordeal poisons means these poisons are dangerous to enemies and harmless to innocent. Like these poisons can be used like this in olden days. They believe that these poisons can be harmful to the enemies and not harmful to the innocents. So I told you the toxicology term. And common arrow poisons are used to kill the cattle of enemies. They will use for these purposes. So, in historical overview, one of the earliest classifications in poisons by Greek physician named Dioscorides, 40 to 80 AD, who categorized these poisons as animal originated poisons, vegetable origin, and minerals. Poisons from animals like bees, wasps, spiders, scorpions, snakes, all those are poisons originated from animals. Vegetable origin is so many vegetable origin, so many plants. God has given so many plants in our planet of Earth. The more than 4,000 species of plants are available in our planet of Earth. These are growing as herbs, shrubs, and trees. From these plants, so many medicinal drugs can be derived. So these therapeutic drugs or these chemicals produced from the plants can be used as therapeutic drugs when they used as small quantities or therapeutic doses. If the dose is increased or more dose can be taken, these can be transferred to dangerous to human beings. So many plants products are poisonous when they take in large quantities. And minerals, metals, organic metals, inorganic metals can be chemical substances, can be harmful to our human being. So recently, I will tell you so many examples from industrial poisoning. 2-3 months back in our Visakhapatnam, LG Polymers leak, you all know. So 3-4 people died due to the leak of stearin gas. 2 days back, some pharmaceutical company escape of H2S, hydrogen sulfide, 2 persons were killed. So this is the industrial poisoning. After Dioscorides, Greek physician Nicander, 2004, worked in experimental toxicology. In early treatise developed by Theophrastus, 370 to 286 before Christ, this Theophrastus has developed the experimental toxicology named De Historia Plantorium. The ancient Indian history also reveals the toxicology. In our Rigvedas and other Chikitsana, all those Shastras also tell about the toxicology on poisons and the effects of poison and their properties and their effects on human beings. So in our Indian Shastra, Charaka also written so many types of poisons. The Greeks are very well established. They are in toxicology. They also used these poisons for execution. The Socrates was executed by the administration of hemlock. That means conium maculatum. This is the one type of the poison. I will tell you in the preceding chapters. So these poisons will be can be used for execution. That means terminal punishment of the persons. So before Christ, 470 or 399 before Christ, also these poisons are used. So several thousands of years these poisons are used. Later, after Theophrastus, then Moses Maimonides published a classic work on poisons named Treatise on Poisons and their antidotes. After that, Paracelsus 1493 and 1541 also worked in these poisons. Development of toxicology as a distinct specialty began in earnest in the 18th and 19th centuries with the pioneering work of Bonaventure Orfila. He is the father of modern toxicology. During 1787 and 1853, Bonaventure Orfila is the father of modern toxicology. Later, he developed a classification of toxicology, and he done the autopsy and sending the viscera for chemical analysis. So he developed how to diagnose whether the person has taken poison or not. The death is due to poison or any other cause. He administered the autopsy findings in a case of death due to poisonings. So Treatise des Poisons, he published this book. In 1829, his student Robert Christensen published this treatise in an English version. So the first published work on clinical toxicology was by Oak Costil, and he published this on 1848. So this is the historical overview of toxicology, and the epidemiology is, so more than 50,000 population has been dying in our country. More than 2 lakhs to 2.5 lakhs whole world, and developing countries are more in very dangerous situation due to the availability of the poisons and also more use of pesticides for crop, and also industrialization of drugs, chemicals which are manufacturing in the industries, and their usage and their selling and the packaging. All these will cause the harm to the human beings. So under epidemiology, more than 4,000 species of medicinal plants are grown in our land. These plant products, for example, I will tell you digitalis, digoxin. The drug digoxin is derived from the digitalis plant. If it uses in a therapeutic doses, it will very useful drug for congestive heart failure. If it is taken in a large doses, then it will give harm to the human beings. So like that, the plant products also are very harmful to the human beings. So epidemiology is very important. To know the epidemiology and historical overview is important in your general considerations. You should know the historical overview of the subject. So toxicology. What is toxicology? Toxicology is the science dealing with these properties of the chemical substance or properties of the poison, or and its actions, toxicity, fatal dose, detection and estimation, and interpretation of the results of toxicological analysis and treatment of poisons. This all 5 characters deals with toxicology. This is known as toxicology. What is forensic toxicology? Forensic toxicology deals with the medical and legal aspects of the harmful effects of chemicals on human beings. It is forensic toxicology. I told you during the forensic science laboratory all these definitions, but at this context I want to insist to know about the what is toxicology, what is forensic toxicology. So next, what is poison? Any substance, either it is solid, liquid or gas, which it is introduced into the living body or brought into contact with any part of our human body, it will cause either local effects or systemic effects, and it endangers the life. That means it will cause injury or harmful injury, or it may cause the death of the person. It is called poison. Either it is liquid or gas or a solid, which causes death of the person or injury to the person, is called poison. What is clinical toxicology? Clinical toxicology deals with human diseases caused by or associated with the abnormal exposure of the chemical substances. It is clinical toxicology. That means human diseases associated with the abnormal exposure of the chemical substances. Whenever human being exposed to the abnormal quantities of the chemical substances, this clinical toxicology will deals with this abnormal exposure. What is toxinology? Toxinology refers to toxins produced by living organisms which are dangerous to man. What are the examples of these toxins? Poisonous plants, which produces toxins, and the venom of snakes, spiders, bees, and also bacterial and fungal toxin. But bacterial toxins are not regarded as toxins because some of them are useful and some of them are dangerous. So in general, bacterial toxins are not considered as toxins. So what are the medical legal aspects and the laws in poisons, on poisons? So there are many laws, certain laws amended for this poisons and drugs and chemicals. What are those? Number one, this is very, very important. Short notes are as a question to you. So please be attentive and read this. Number one, the first law poisons is amended in 1940. It is the Drugs and Cosmetics Act. So it regulates the manufacture, distribution, sale of all kinds of drugs and importation of the all kinds of drugs. This act regulates the manufacture, distribution and sale of all kinds of drugs. One of its main feature is the control of the quality and purity and strength of the drugs. It regulates the quality of the drug, strength of the drug and purity of the drug. So this act, according to this act, the manufacturer companies should manufacture quality of drug, purity of the drug and much strength of the drugs. Unless this Drugs and Cosmetic Act, the manufacturers companies may prepare or manufacture less strength drugs or poor quality drugs. So any patent or proprietary medicine should be displayed on the label according to this Drugs and Cosmetics Act 1940. This proprietary medicine should be named on the strip of the medicine or bottle of the medicine, and the container, either the formula and the ingredients should be written on the container or the strip. So number two, the Drugs and Cosmetic Rules 1945. These rules were framed under the Drugs Act 1940, and this regulates the importation of the drugs and functions and procedures of the Central Drugs Laboratory. Number one, Drugs and Cosmetic Act 1940. Under this act, the central government has empowered to form Central Drug Laboratory and also Drugs Technical and Advisory Board. So this, according to this act, the central government can form this Drugs Technical Advisory Board and Central Drugs Laboratory. and also help both central and state governments. The act was amended in 1964. Next act is next law, number second law of poisons and law is 1945. The Drugs and Cosmetic Rules 1945. These were framed under the Drugs Control Act, previous act, first act 1940. This act regulates the importation of the drugs and the functions, procedures of the Central Drugs Laboratory. So number one rule, according to the Drugs and Cosmetics Act 1940, the central government has empowered to form the Central Drugs Laboratory. So according to this second law, Drugs and Cosmetic Rules, this act regulates the processes of the Central Drugs Laboratory. Appointment of licensing authorities and manufacture, distribution and sale of drugs. These rules have classified drugs into schedules according to the convenience. The rules classified drugs into put drugs under some schedules as follows. What are those schedules? Schedule C, all biological and special products. Biological products and special products are put in the Schedule C, and Schedule E, all poisons are listed in Schedule E. Schedule F, vaccines and serum. Serum institutes, sera, all types of sera and vaccines are listed in Schedule F. Schedule G, all hormone preparations are put in the Schedule G. Schedule H, drugs. You can see in your any tablet, even Calpol or paracetamol tablets, you can see these poisons to be sold on the prescription of a registered medical practitioner. You can see this heading in all your medicines. So in all our drugs, therapeutic drugs are put under this schedule. So drugs, therapeutic drugs are comes under this schedule. Schedule J, list of diseases for the cure of which no drug should be advertised. Schedule L, antibiotics, antihistaminics and other recent chemotherapeutic drugs are listed under this L schedule. All these, according to this act, the following particulars should be noted on the strip of the medicine or vial of the medicine. The serial number of the entry, the date of supply, name of the address of the prescriber. All these according to this act, the pharmaceutical companies or dispensing pharmacy stores should maintain a prescribing register. This register, they should enter all these characters. All these factors should be entered by the pharmacy stores. Serial number of the entry, date of supply, name and address of the prescriber, name and address of the patient, name of the drug, preparation and the quantity, expiry date, manufacturing date, and all this should be noted in the register, which is called as prescription register. Number 3, third law is Pharmacy Act, which is amended in 1948. Under this act, this is possible in order to make better provision for the regulation of the profession of pharmacy. Better provision for the regulation of the profession of pharmacy, and also according to this act to constitute Central Council of Pharmacy and State Council of Pharmacy. These rules are important for your examination point of view. This may come as short notes. The object of this act is to allow the registered pharmacists. According to this act, the registered pharmacists only should prepare mixing of the drugs, preparation of the drugs, dispensing of the drugs should be done by the registered pharmacists only. But in our scenario, in our medical stores, in and around in our locality or anywhere in our India, so many persons who are selling the drugs in medical stores, they are not qualified pharmacists. These pharmacists will, so many pharmacy stores will not follow these rules. It is unfortunate. So number 4th law is the Drugs Control Act 1950. It provides for the control of sale, supply, and distribution of drugs. This Act control over the sale, supply, and distribution of drugs. The issue of cashing of memo for sale and marking prices, exhibiting the list of prices. This Drugs Control Act is the main to fix the price of the drug, maximum price of the drug. This for certain drug should be sell for this price only. Like that, it fixes the prices of the company, prices of the medicines. Next, fifth law is the drugs and magic remedies. This is very important act. Under this act, indecent advertisements which are immoral to the public should not be advertised. For example, I will tell you, so many advertisements in pamphlets or in papers also you will see daily some adbhutamaina recovery. Operation లేకుండా ఒరే బీజము, ఆపరేషన్ లేకుండా ఫిస్టులాస్ ఇవన్నీ బాగు చేయబడను, లేకపోతే మీ సెక్షువల్ సామర్థ్యం పెంచబడను, ఇటువంటి ప్రకటనలు మనం రోజు చూస్తాం. అకార్డింగ్ టు దిస్ యాక్ట్, these advertisements are prohibited. They will not advertise for this magic remedies. They will not cure these. According to these advertisements, the people may get harm from the quack doctors. They will make harm to the patients who are illiterates. This to prevent the self-medication and treatment. So advertisements of magic remedies, I told you, procuring abortion, in abortion chehastanu, lekapothe conception, prevention of conception, and increase sexual potency. Like this, all these advertisements are prohibited, and this act control all these immoral, indecent advertisements. And number 6th law on poisons is Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substances Act, NDPS Act 1985. What is narcotic drug and what is psychotropic drug? A narcotic drug which induces sleep-likeness. So which induces sleepy. A person will, after taking this narcotic drug, he will goes into sleep. And what is psychotropic substances? This psychotropic substances or drug causes mental alteration. So his mental function will be altered while taking this psychotropic substance. It was amended in 1989 and 2000. In between 1989 and 2001, it repeals 3 acts. That means the Opium Act 1857, Opium Act 1878, and Dangerous Drugs Act 1930. These 3 acts constitutes this Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substances Act. Under this act, if anybody, any person possess or cultivate narcotic drugs, like ganjai, అక్రమంగా గంజాయి సాగు చేస్తున్నారు, అరెస్ట్ చేశారు, తీసుకొచ్చారు, లైక్ దట్. అక్రమంగా గంజాయి పట్టుబడ్డారు, హెరాయిన్ పట్టుబడ్డారు, బ్రౌన్ షుగర్ పట్టుబడ్డారు. ఈ possess, if anybody possess these narcotic substances or psychotropic substances, or possess or manufacture or cultivate, or he will sell, or he will consumes, or he will made consumed by others by selling these psychotropic substances, punishment under this act, punishable under this act. So I told you all this. So the schedule lists all this narcotic drug schedule lists 77, more than 77 psychotropic substances. Those for example, psychotropic substances are LSD, amphetamine, tranquilizers, barbiturates, benzodiazepines, methaqualone, ketamine. All these are psychotropic substances. I told you poppy, cannabis, ganjai, poppy seeds, poppy plants, cocoa plants. Cultivation of this is prohibited, and if anybody found cultivated this and supply this and possessing this will be punishable under this act. So prevention of illicit traffic in narcotic drugs and psychotropic substances act. This is 7th law on poisons. This act, if a person produces, possesses and transports, imports, exports these psychotropic or narcotic substances, he will be punished under this act with imprisonment. So what are the medical legal aspects of poisons? Sections 176, 193, 2000, 201, 202, 284, 299, 300, 304A, 309, 320, 324, 326 and 328 IPC, and section 39, 40 and 175 CRPC are deals with this medico-legal aspects of poisons. Offenses. These sections deals with the offenses relating to the administration of poisonous substances. Sections 272 to 276 IPC deals with the adulteration of foods and drugs. That means kalti, aharamlo kalti cheyadam, drugs kalti, medicine kalti mundulu ammadam. These comes under the sections 272 and 276 IPC. Sections 284. Any act, if the medico-legal aspects, if anybody under the medico-legal aspects, the key element is act of intention of doing any act which is harmful to other person. Intention of act to harm another person which is dangerous, endangers the other person, comes under section 284. This intention, that means intention to kill by introducing these poisonous substances, is punishable. Section 299 deals with the causes of death by using poison. If anybody causes death of person by using poison, comes under culpable homicide. That means murder. Any murder by any means, it is not different. The law does not differentiate the murder by any means or murder by poisons. There is no difference. It comes under murder only, culpable homicide. So the person who kills or intend to kill or intend to harm anybody comes under punishable under this section. Section 299 causes death by using poison, and section 300 is punishment for the above section. According to section 300, life imprisonment can be awarded. Section 304A, this section is very well known by you under the Injuries Act or medical legal aspects of injuries. We'll discuss about this 304 section A. This is negligent act of any person. Negligent act or negligent criminal negligence of the doctor comes under this section. Rash and negligent, that means rash driving or intends to kill. If anybody knows that this poison administered to another person, he will die and it causes harm to the other person. He knows, but he negligently will gives the medicine. So this comes under 304A section. Section 324 is hurt by poison. That means throwing corrosive acids to anybody, throwing up the corrosive acids, throwing up the poisons to intention to kill or intention to harm that person. Throwing comes under hurting by poison, comes under section 324. Section 326 is same as section 320. So I told you the law does not make any difference between murder by means of poisons or murder by any other means. So section 284 IPC deals with negligent conduct with respect to poisonous substances. So that means whoever does with any poisonous substance, any act in manner or so rash or negligent is endanger, which is endanger to human life or to be likely cause hurt or injury to any person, comes under 284 or 304A section. Section 394, 324 and 326 IPC, whoever administers poison to other person to intend to kill or to intend to intention to harm the person, comes under 324 IPC. Or stupefying, or stupefying means he may be while administering this certain drug, the person may goes to a sleepy mode or mental alteration, and he will be unconscious, and then the person may kill him or the person may robbery the house of the person. Like that, he may introduce the certain poisons, stupefying poisons. So adulteration of drugs and food comes under 274 IPC, and it is awarded as punishment up to 6 months. So I told you epidemiology. So I told all these 4,000 species of medicinal plants. growing as herbs, herbs, trees in India, many of which are poisonous when administered in large doses. I told you all this. The toxic principles belong to alkaloids, glycosides, toxalbumins, resins, cannabinoids, and polypeptides. Suicidal and homicidal cases of poisoning are common in India. And also some chemical substance, some poison, some toxic substance used as abortifacients, and some used as abortifacient drugs. That means to procure abortion, criminal abortion. Some chemical substance used as, some drugs used as abortifacients, and some drugs used as aphrodisiacs. That means to increase the sexual potency. Some drugs increase the help to increase the sexual potency. So those are called as aphrodisiacs. So I told you common poisons are insecticides and pesticides. Under these, organophosphates and carbamates are very, very commonly used. So what are the? So I told you poisons are, according to the, I told you in epidemiology, poisons are animal origin, vegetable origin, and minerals. So under this availability of the source of poison, the common household poisons are more dangerous. Recently, I read in a newspaper that one grandma, who is very, very affectionate towards her grandchildren, she ready to prepare biryani, chicken biryani for her grandchildren, and she poured bulical organophosphates instead of chicken masala. She mistaken, accidental poison, and cooked the biryani, and the children ate, and these two children died due to accidental poisoning of the mistake done by the grandmother. If you read the newspaper, you might have known that. So common household poisons are grouped in 3 divisions. That means domestic poisons. Number A is domestic poisons. These domestic poisons, I told you, cosmetics, cuticle removers, depilators. That means all these cosmetics who use your cosmetic purpose may cause harm to our body when they are used as misuse. Or baby powders, nail polish removers, they can be used as suicide poisons. I have treated so many cases in our hospital by taking suicidal attempt by taking nail polishes and lotions, hair remover lotions can be taken as suicidal poisons. Kitchen poisons are baking powder, baking soda, dishwashing compounds, fire extinguishing fluids, and matches. These can be also used as accidental or suicidal poisons. And number 3 is rat poisons. So many persons will keep these rat poisons and ant poisons in their house to kill the to reduce the risk of rats and ants. So accidentally they mix in the liquids or mix in the vegetables. Accidentally they will mix and they will cause harm to the persons. All sanitary use, deodorant tablets, drain cleaners, disinfectants, all those will be domestic poisons. So DDT, Gamaxin, and mothballs, naphthalene balls. If you all will know these naphthalene balls who put in your dresses to protect the cloths from the cockroaches and all the insects. And these mothballs also can be taken as suicidal poisonings. Marking ink, ink removers, anti-rust products can be used as domestic poisons. Cleaning solvents, fluorescent lamps, furniture polish, paint remover, all those shoe polish, hair bleach, all those substances, chemical substances, or can be used as suicidal poisons. Garden poisons, insecticides, fungicides, weed killers, or most frequently will have in our house. They may be mixed accidentally, or they can be taken as intentionally to commit suicides. Weed killer. Once this question has given in undergraduate question, weed killers, the mechanism of poisoning and signs and symptoms and the treatment of weed killers. The weed killers are sodium chlorate, arsenic oxide, and arsenites. These are weed killers. You can read in the textbook what are the weed killers. These weed killers can be given as short notes or as a question. Therapeutic poisons. That means all drugs who will be taken as therapeutic treatment can be taken as suicidal attempts. So many cases we come across in our regular routine practice of medical practice. So many persons, they will ingest large doses of diuretics and anti-hypertensive drugs. All these drugs, even paracetamol, they will ingest to commit suicide. So all the therapeutic poisons, therapeutic drugs can be used as poisonous drugs. So what is occupational and environmental toxicology? Occupational toxicology is, we all know, in occupational toxicology, occupational hazard is very, very important. So many employees working in industries, they will exposure this abnormal exposure to these chemicals. They will get this disorders, so many disorders. This is called occupational toxicology. That means chemicals found in the place of work which are dangerous to the persons. That means workers who employing in industries, chemical industries, while they are manufacturing or while they are packaging, they will be exposed to the abnormal exposure to the chemicals. So recently, 2 days back, the inhalation of H2S, hydrogen sulfide, kills 2 persons in pharmaceutical company at Paravada. You all know. And 2-3 months back, LG Polymers, 4 or 5 persons died due to the leakage of the stearin gas. So these are the sudden exposure and deaths, but gradual exposure to the abnormal quantities of chemical substances during their work will cause endangers in a long period. That means you all know the sugarcane dust will cause bagosis, and asbestosis may be caused by the absorption of the asbestos particles under the roofing of the asbestos cement roofings. All those silicosis will be developed. These are all the lung disorders cause inhalation of these finest dust particles of the certain chemicals. So very, very this environmental and occupational toxicology is very, very dangerous to the health of the persons who are working under this chemical industries and also roofings of the chemicals. So I have seen one case of this occupational hazard, very, very serious disorder, which is known as mesothelioma. It is not researched so far, but this mesothelioma is caused due to the abnormal exposure of the asbestosis. I have seen this case, and by diagnosis is very, very difficult. This case, first primary symptom is pleural effusion and very minute patch on the lung field. We have taken X-ray and found this minimal 20 ml of pleural effusion and a patch. But after treatment, the patch was not diminished and the symptoms are not revealed, but the pleural effusion is increased, and the patient died due to the formation of this asbestosis of the lungs. The pleural membrane of the person transformed as asbestos rake laga అయిపోయింది ఆ pleural membrane. I have seen that case, and I presented a paper to the Christian Medical College for research purpose. So this occupational hazard is very, very dangerous for these workers who exposed to occupational hazards. There is a act, Workmen's Compensation Act 1923. If anybody dies or injured or endangered due to the exposure of the abnormal chemicals during their workplace, they will be compensated under this act. Hazardous material. What are the hazardous materials? So these materials which are causes or endangers the life of the person who at their workplace or at the environment is are called the hazardous materials. These hazardous materials can be enters into the our body through inhalation or through contact to the skin or any other natural orifices. These substances enters into our body and causes harm to our body. So are called hazardous materials. They include chemicals, biological agents, and radioactive substances. What is environmental toxicity? Next is environmental toxicology. What is environmental? It deals with the potentially harmful impact of chemicals present as pollutants. All our environment involves air and water and the soil. This our environment is filled with pollutants. So many pollutants are in our environment. This environment due to pollution will cause harm to our body. More than 60,000 chemicals are said to be in the common use. These 60,000 chemicals will be cause the pollution in the atmosphere. So what is ecotoxicology? This concerned with the toxic effects of chemicals and the physical agents on living organisms, especially in a certain area of living area. That means certain containment area. This ecosystem is filled with these pollutants and causes harm to the individuals or community living in that particular ecosystem. This is called ecotoxicology. So all this exposure of poisons or accidental or any intentional poisoning which are endangers or dangerous to the life of the human beings. Some poison information centers are established to reduce the or to treat the poison cases. So first poison information center was established in 1945 at Netherlands and later 1961 it was established in England, Guy's Hospital, England, and later in our India, first poison information center was established in AIIMS, New Delhi, All India Institute of Medical Sciences, New Delhi, and this poison information center has got a computer software which is called NTOX, and this is supplied by the WHO. This national information centers provides 24-hour continuous 24 hours help to treat or to determine the poison, to assess the toxic effects of the poison, and to treat how to treat the case and what are the antidotes available for this type of toxin or this type of poison. They will give the information and this valuable information to treat the poisonous who ingested poison by phone call. By phone, through phone, these poison information centers will give medical aid to the person who ingested poison and who is admitted in hospital for treatment of poisoning, acute poisoning. So NTOX is a software supplied to these poisonous centers by WHO. And this National Poison Information Center at AIIMS and Ahmedabad. In India, 2 poison information centers are established, and other regional centers were later established by the government. These regional centers are, one is at Chennai and one is at Cochin. The Cochin and Chennai are having POIS index. POISINDEX. This software will gives the 24-hour help to treat the patient, poisonous patient. So in Cochin, the WHO supplied free of cost NTOX software to the Cochin. This POIS index software is supplied to the regional centers. And NTOX is supplied to the National Poison Information Centers. This will be given to you in your theory examination as a short notes. So all these accidental or intentional or any other poisoning, how to prevent? What is the cause? Mainly the illiteration is the cause of accidental poisoning. Recently, I told you the grandma mixed the organophosphates instead of chicken masala. So this accidental poisoning, how to prevent this accidental poisoning or poisoning cases, how to prevent this? Number one is illiteracy. So educate the major component of population will prevent our this type of poisonings. All drugs and toxic substances should be kept in locked cabins. That means these poisonous substances should be kept in locked cabinets. They should not be placed in open cabinets. If they kept the open poisons, they mistakenly used as a domestic purpose. So all household poisons must be kept separate from food. If they mix with the food materials, this accidental poisoning will occur. All products, pesticides and medicines should be kept in their original containers only, because they will be written as dangerous drug, poison. So they will be kept in their original containers only. These poisonous substances keep caps and tops and bottles properly closed. Do not keep household cleaners on the floor, under the kitchen sink or low cupboards that a child can easily open and they accidentally or mistakenly ingest, and the child will be more prone to get these household poisons if they available. The label should be read before using the drug. No drug should be given or taken in dark. That means every drug should be read carefully in daylight or light, and only after reading only you have to take the drug. All drugs, whether expired or otherwise, should be disposed in a safe manner. Drugs in child-proof packages only should be purchased. Children should be not to eat plant or berries. Wherever cooking gas is used, adequate ventilation should be provided. All these preventive steps should be taken to prevent accidental poisoning. So what is the nature of the poisons? That means what effects it will create while ingesting the poisonous substance. According to the nature or manner of poisoning, these poisons are divided as homicidal poisons, suicidal poisons, stupefying poisons, abortifacients, aphrodisiacs, cattle poisons, arrow poisons, like that. These nature of poisonings or manner of these poisons can be divided as under these headings. Homicidal poisons, that means intention to kill the other person, intention to kill the enemies, intention to kill the cattle of the enemy. All these comes under homicidal poisons. What is the poison which is used as a homicidal? అంటే ఎవరైనా చంపడానికి ఉపయోగించే పాయిజన్ యొక్క లక్షణాలు ఎలా ఉండాలి? What is the characteristics of the ideal homicidal poison? So number one, it should be very cheap. If it is cheap only, everybody can easily purchase and easily available. The availability of the ideal homicidal poison should be very easy, and it should be colorless, odorless, tasteless. Then only you can be ingested very easily. Capable of being administered either in food. That means this homicidal poison is administered easily either in food. If it mixes with the food, it will not identify. The mixed food, the person will not identify that this food is mixed with some poison. Like that, to prevent suspicion, this capable of administered either in food or drink or medicine without producing any obvious change to that food. If it changes the food colors or any other taste, the person will suspect this any poisonous will be mixed in this. So the ideal homicidal poison is easily mixed with the food, and this homicidal poison has a character of ideal homicidal poison should have a character of highly toxic character. Even small quantity will produce lethal effect. Signs and symptoms should be resemble a natural disease. That if the signs and symptoms produce natural disease symptoms, then the accused will not be identified. He will be escaped. There should not be any antidote. no antidote will be present for that purpose. These are the characters of ideal homicidal poison. There should be no postmortem changes. Should not be detected by chemical tests. Must be rapidly destroyed or made undetectable in the body. All these 10 characters are ideal homicidal poison. Characters of a poison which is used for homicide. It is very, very important short notes for you. Read well. Number 2 is ideal suicidal poison. The characters of ideal suicidal poisons. That means poison which is taken as to commit suicide. It also cheap. It should be cheap. It should be easily available. It should be highly toxic. It should be tasteless and pleasant taste. If it is a pleasant taste and tasteless, you can easily ingest. Capable of being easily taken in food or drink. Capable of producing painless death, and opium and barbiturates. These characters are available in opium and barbiturates. Organophosphorus compounds and endrine are commonly used as civil suicidal poisons. These are the ideal suicidal poison characters. Number 3 is stupefying. That means stupefying means alters the mental function or false thinking. That means the person may goes into unconsciousness, landed in unconsciousness while giving these drugs. By giving these drugs, the person may kill easily, and the person may rob the house, or the person may do any harm to the person after stupefying the victim. So what are the stupefying drugs? Datura, cannabis, indica, floral hydrates. These are the examples for stupefying poisons. So some abortifacients, some drugs used as to procure abortion. Those are calotropis, oleanders, aconite, croton, semicarpus, cantharides. All those are abortifacient drugs. Accidental poisons or household poisons are accidental, used as accidental poisons. Some rare bacteria, insulin, all are rarely used as poisons. And cattle poisons. These poisons used to kill the cattle of the enemies. So these are Apras prectorius, oleanders, and organophosphorus are commonly used as cattle poisoning. Arrow poisons, and these Apras prectorius and croton oil, the arrowheads of the arrow will dip into these poisons and used as arrow to kill the to hunt the animals or to kill the cattle or any other animal. To kill arrow poisons. Arrows dipped into the arrowhead, dipped into the poisonous material and used as arrow to kill the animals. Aphrodisiacs. Aphrodisiacs, I told you, aphrodisiac is a drug which increases the sexual desire. These are cantharides, cocaine, cannabis, opium, strychnine and arsenic. Classification of poisons. This is very, very important. Short notes for you. Poisons may be classified according to the chief symptoms. I told you availability, source of poisons. These are animal, plants and minerals, and according to the manner of the death, they are homicidal, suicidal, stupefying, arrow, cattle. All those are according to the manner of the death they produce, and according to these symptoms, this classification is important. According to the symptoms produced by the toxins, the poisons are classified as corrosives. Under corrosives, number 1 is strong acids. Strong acids, under this strong acids, mineral acids, sulfuric acid, nitric acid, aldehydic acid, chloric acids are mineral or inorganic acids, and organic acids are carbolic, oxalic, and acetic salicylic acid. And strong acid, number 2 is strong acids, hydrates, carbonates of sodium and potassium and ammonia, and metallic salts, zinc chloride, ferric chloride, copper sulfate, silver nitrate, potassium cyanide, chromates and bichromates or metallic salts. These comes under corrosives. And number 2, second classification of poisons according to their symptoms produced or irritants. Number 1 is corrosives, number 2 is irritants. Under this irritants, number 1 is agricultural, number 2 is inorganic. Under this inorganic, there is non-metallic poisons. Those non-metallic poisons are phosphorus, iodine, chlorine, bromine, carbon tetrachloride. Under metallic poisons, arsenic, antimony, copper, lead, mercury, silver, and zinc. And next is mechanical. Under mechanical poisons, powdered glass, diamond dust, hair, etc., etc. are the mechanical poisons. Organic poisons, vegetable, Apras prectorius, castor, croton, calotropis. All these will be studied in detail in preceding chapters. Animal poisons, snakes, insect venoms, cantharides, potamines. Number third, according to the symptoms, the poisons produced, third classification is systemic poisons. Under systemic poisons, number one is cerebral CNS depressants. Number A is CNS depressants. Under CNS depressants, alcohol, general anesthetics, opioids, analgesics, hypnotics, sedatives. Under this cerebral poisons, number B is CNS stimulants, cyclic antidepressants, amphetamines, caffeine, and methylphenidate. Delirium poisons, datura, belladonna, IOCMS, cannabis, cocaine, and all. Under spinal poisons, Nux vomica, gelsium. And peripheral poisons, conium, curare. Conium is conium lactam. Conine is the poisonous drug which is introduced to kill the Socrates. Hemlock. Execution of Socrates by conium. Cardiovascular poisons are aconite, oleander, tobacco, cyanide, and asphyxiants are carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, hydrogen sulfide. These are asphyxiants. Hydrogen sulfide acts as asphyxiant and cause of death 2 persons in a pharmaceutical company 2 days back at Parvada. So the classification, fourth classification of the poisonous drugs according to their symptoms are miscellaneous. Miscellaneous drugs are food poisoning, botulism, poisons. These are miscellaneous, food poisoning and botulism. These can be studied in detail in preceding chapters. Poisons may be classified according to their morbid anatomic manifestations. That these poisons cannot be alter the morphological changes, but they will produce certain anatomical changes by its toxic effect. That means acute CNS depressants, alcohol. It cannot change the morphological effect, but it can alter the anatomical state. That means it can be stupefying, it can be a stupor, the person may exalted, all these conditions. Chemical asphyxiants produce asphyxiation, that is bronchopneumonia or shortness of breath. So all these are the anatomical changes. What are the criminal offenses? Criminal offenses by doing this poisoning with poisons. The administration of a poison is a criminal offense. Administration of poison is a criminal offense when it is used with intent to kill any other person, intention of to killing or to cause harm or injury to the other person, with intent to cause serious injury, or used to reckless or rash or negligent use of these poisons, stupefying and facilitate a crime, to stupefy a person, and may the accused may assault, sexual assault or robbery house, to produce an abortion, and throw a poison to another person, vitriolize. Some corrosives may throw to another body to injure the person. All these are the criminal offenses done by the poisons. These poisons may result from that, the poisoning may be result either all of these ways. The administration of poison for criminal purposes. Somebody will administer the poisons for their criminal intent. Swallowing of the poison by mistake, as a food particle, they will swallow the poison, or inhalation through ignorance, inhalation poison in industries, and incorrect preparation of medicines. Incorrect preparation of medicines containing a poison, the accidental taking of a large dose of medicine containing poison, excessive self-medication innocently, and addiction to drugs, that means alcohol addiction, bite by poisonous animal, food infected with bacteria or other toxins. These poisons may be, these are the ways of poisoning to persons. So what are the routes of administration of poisons? There are so many routes. That means inhalation, parenteral, oral. So inhalation of poison is very, very speed. So okay, time is over. I will tell you in next class. I will continue in the next class. Okay. Understand? Shall finish. Seri, end sir idi. End okay na? End meeting parala sir.